Time for a Chevrolet Sportsnet Central update. The Patriots not waiting around for free agency to begin next week. The team has signed right tackle Chukwuma Okorafor. The 26-year-old is 6'6". He weighs 320 pounds. He started 59 games for Pittsburgh from 2018 to 2023. However, he was benched midway through last season for reportedly criticizing the Steelers' offensive play calling. For more, let's bring back Breer, tongue twister, and Curran. Let's find out what they are hearing. He apparently goes by Chucks on the Insta, so that's just what I'm going to call him, Chucks. What do you know about Chucks?
Good job on the pronunciation, too. It's a physically talented kid. I remember that when he was coming out. The Steelers have had a lot of offensive line issues over the last couple of years. They've cycled through a few offensive line coaches. So I can see where this is maybe a bit of a reclamation project, but a worthy one. Tom, I really think like the idea here for them in free agency should be getting to a competent level at as many positions as you possibly can so you don't have to press needs in the draft, right? That doesn't mean going out and breaking the bank for $20, $25 million for someone. It just means getting to a point where you can roll a team out there on Sunday so when you get to the draft, you don't have to force anything.
And it's very hard, free agency, we're going to get into this plenty next week. Some of those big offensive positional needs that they have, wide receiver, tight end, and tackle, they're bereft of top-end talent. So you don't want to just be writing out $65 and $80 million contracts to players who aren't that good just because money's burning a hole in your pocket. So I like this move, but we also last season, we're giving the benefit of the doubt to Calvin Anderson and Riley Reif. Calvin Anderson is still on the roster, so you do have more tackle depth. I think they also re-signed Tyrone Wheatley Jr., who was plagued by an injury or an illness for most of his time here last year, but keep throwing bodies at it at this juncture and look to the draft again, because that's a deep spot. It's not good in free agency. It is good in the draft.
Yep.
What, if anything, does this mean for Mike Onwenu? And also then you add in the fact that guard Kevin Dotson signed a 3-year, $48 million deal with the Rams, so about 16 per. How does that all factor into his future?
Onwenu is probably going to be a $17 or $18 million a year guy. So, and he deserves it. He's not going to Pro Bowls and all pros, but he's playing tackle. He played tackle almost the entire year last year. He played guard the year before. He played tackle the year before. So if I'm Mike Onwenu, when I go to the Patriots, I'm going to say, look, I check off 2 positions for you guys. You know I can play either one, and I can play either one at a high level. So you're going to have to pay me, which is a big reason why the Patriots really probably didn't want to franchise him, because that's a $21 million tag right there. Do the other guy, do Duggar, and then figure out, okay, can we give him a fat deal and trim down his initial number in 2024. What it means is it's insurance, which you better take out if you don't know specifically what Onwenu's going to do.
I'd agree with Tom, too, on the point that position flexibility is a plus for him, not a minus. The fact that he can play both those positions. The fact is, like, this is one position that everyone in the league is looking for. Tackle, guard, like those are hard positions to fill. There just aren't enough good big men out there. And so that's why these guys always get paid. Like there's a guy in Miami, Robert Hunt. I bet he makes $18 million a year. A lot of people haven't heard of him, right? Jonah Jackson from Detroit, he probably gets $16 or $17 million a year. And I think Mike Onwenu is in that same category of that player who, while he might not be Trent Williams, he's a very, very valuable piece to have, and teams are willing to pay for offensive linemen in this day and age.
Just one quickie on the offensive line. Say, to bridge to what we spoke about earlier, Joe Alt at left tackle, Cole Strange at left guard, David Andrews in the middle, Mike Onwenu at right tackle or right guard. Sidney So is there. Now you have the kid that they took from the Steelers. You have players. Chucks is in town. So you've then addressed these things, and you're not saying to yourself, how are we going to protect?
I think what's really enticing about it, too, if I'm the Patriots and bringing him back, is like then you get to a point where it's like, okay, like if we get our franchise left tackle in the draft, maybe we're taking a weakness and turning it into a strength now. And I'm not saying it's going to be Joe Alt or Olaf Schon or one of the high-end guys, but if you can get your left tackle position taken care of in the draft, you could be good in that area.